All right, your boy Mixmaster B here from the MMB Radio Studios for the MMB Radio Podcast, where no topic is too big or too small. We talk about them all, and on the phone lines all the way across the pond, as they like to say, over in the UK, is one and only Miss Brooklyn Blue. How are you?
Hi, America, should I say. Hi, yeah, America.
Yeah, America and the world is listening to you right now. So
this is amazing. Skype is so fucking cool.
It is, isn't it? That I can talk to you all the way. And where are you exactly at?
I'm in London, like actual London, like real life London.
Awesome. And it's later at night over there right now, right? So are you just coming in from partying, or?
No, well, I've had a glass of wine or two, should I say?
Okay.
But no, it's not a night out tonight. It's a Wednesday, so it's all a bit quiet here in London, you know. Just a pub and a bar. No clubs open tonight, so yeah. It's like near enough midnight here, so yeah. I guess it's like dinner time or something for you guys.
Yes. So, I'm not really sure what I hate labels. I hate labeling people as this and that. Like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer adult film star or porn star, or do they have a different naming for it over in London?
Baby, it's whatever you want to call me. You can call me porn star. You can call me adult film star. I've heard it all. Anything.
So you'll answer to pretty much anything. That's awesome.
Anything.
So,
as long as it's not offensive, we're good.
So, London. I mean, what's the porn life like in London compared to the United States?
Do you know what? It's completely different, I think. So, London is a very, very, very small industry. So, like, everyone, I mean, I think America's a lot bigger. So here, it's kind of like, you know, you're working with the same old guys and the same old girls, like, every other week. Do you know what I mean? It's such a small little family here. Mm-hmm. But apart from that, I mean, like, we shoot loads of stuff for America over here now. So we're kind of like, we're progressing. Do you know what I mean?
But moving up in the porn game.
Yeah, we're big enough in the porn game, you know. But we've got some, like, big companies here in England that are, like, proper British porn, you know, chav porn and all that kind of thing. So we're good, you know.
Now, how did you get into the business? Did you always have an interest in porn?
Oh, do you know what? It's such a funny story. So I've always loved porn. I've always loved porn stars. I've always looked at porn stars and thought, oh, they're so glamorous. They're so amazing. This, that, and the other. But at the same time, I never thought I'd be in porn. The actual reason I did it was because I had an ex-boyfriend that cheated all the time. And so basically I thought, what's the best revenge I could do? I know, let's shoot a porno. So I literally shot a porn film and sent him it. And that was meant to be it. That was meant to be the end of it. And then it kind of just turned into like a full-time career from there, basically.
Now, you've also done, you do like the webcamming and everything. And that's pretty big over there. I know a couple of people that I follow on Twitter, like over in London, it's like Cam City over there. Like everybody cams in London.
Cam City? Yeah, no, I don't know why. I mean, I've only just got into the webcamming because, you know what, like, honestly, before I got into it, I found, like, camming a little bit boring, if I'm honest. But now I've kind of just got into it, and, like, yeah, it's all right. I mean, everyone does cam here. I don't know what it's like over in America, but everyone pretty much cams here. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
Not to knock anybody who does webcamming here in the States, but a lot of the people here, the girls that I've noticed that do webcamming here in the States, you're either already established as an adult film star and you're doing webcamming, or you're like, it's like the American Idol or like of porn where you're doing webcamming, hoping that somebody will notice you. That will want to, you know, you'll be the next porn star if you do webcamming. But I don't see average chicks and average girls, for lack of better wording, in the UK or London. It's always like the hottest of hottest adult film stars doing webcamming. I mean, is there like some kind of like rules or regulations to it, or?
No, I mean, like over here in England, it's kind of like anyone can webcam if they want to. But I mean, like, I think if obviously you've got to name yourself and you're a porn star and whatever, then obviously it's worth coming. But I don't know. Like, I think maybe, I don't know. I've only just kind of got into it, really, and it's absolutely crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, the sort of things that people come out with and stuff. I mean, I do porn for a living, so, you know, nothing phases me. But on webcam, it's like a whole different world. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's insane. Like, you know, even like the other day I did a cam show, and this guy literally just wanted me to try on different underwear outfits. That was all he wanted, and I thought, why do you not want me to get my tits out? Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, that's weird.
Now, a couple questions, because we got a bunch of questions from people on Twitter. And
oh, no way.
It's crazy. It's crazy the global reach that you have on social media, where you can get a bunch of questions from people.
Yeah.
And then I also have some questions of my own. So I guess the first thing I want to, what are the exact measurements? Everybody's been sending in questions, want to know, what are all the measurements?
Do you mean like my tits measurements?
We want to know, how big are your tits? That's what they want to know. They don't want to read it. They want to hear your voice and your amazing accent tell them how big and luscious your boobs are.
Well, you guys have an accent, not me. But literally, I'm a 30G.
Okay.
So a 30G. So I've got a really tiny back and then like a G cup. But it probably, a lot of guys maybe don't know what a 30G is. So if I had to put it on average, if I had to go up, it'd be like a 32F.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So all the guys who were sending me tweets wanting to know, ask her how big her boobs are. There you have it. That's how big her boobs are. And she doesn't have an accent. We have an accent. So make sure.
You guys have an accent, not me.
I mean, I guess technically you could be right. They do call you the English, and you are speaking English. So I guess you are the originators of the language. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
See how I broke that
sense.
down? Yeah, all those years of schooling, and I was able to break that down.
Well, hey.
So, what do you enjoy about being in the porn business? I mean, you've been in it for, I would say quite a while, not, like forever, but you've been in it for long enough to know what you enjoy about it and what you don't enjoy. So, what do you enjoy about being in the business?
I love it. I love the business. Do you know what? Like, so many people slag it off and this, that, and the other. I absolutely love porn. I mean, put it this way. Before I got into porn, I did not know how to make myself come, should I say? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but
you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. This is the internet.
I love the way you guys say that in America. It's like, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. That's a really bad American accent, by the way, that I just did. But, you guys sound so much cooler saying it than us here in England. But literally, like, I've learned so much from porn. My sex life now compared to what it was before porn, fuck me, it's so much better. And I love the idea of just like being on camera, fucking on camera, like people watching. To me, that is like, I love it. I love it. I don't know what it is. I just love it.
So when you say that your sex life is so much better on air than it is off air, how old were you when you first lost your virginity?
Oh, I was 15.
Now, God, I know people hate to talk about their first time because the first time is usually memorable, but for the wrong reasons. But kind of take us back to little Brooklyn Blue at the age of 15 and what went down with that. How did that all happen? Where was it at? Who was it with?
It was with a complete dickhead, as you can imagine. A good-looking dickhead, but still a dickhead. And do you know what? It was weird. It was a weird situation. It was kind of like, I can't even really remember it now. I just can't. No, it was sort of like, oh, shall we kind of like have sex? Like, you know what sex is? Shall we kind of do it? Like, all innocent and stuff. And I know people say their first time's really quick. For me, I swear it was like 2 hours. Or maybe it wasn't 2 hours. Maybe it just felt like 2 hours because it was so fucking horrendous. I don't know. But it felt like forever. Do you know what I mean? And I just remember walking out the next day and thinking, oh, yeah, I had sex last night. I feel like really good about that.
So where is one of the most wildest and craziest places you've ever had sex?
Oh my God. Do you know what? I don't even know. I once had it on like, a lifeguarding, what are they called? Like a lifeguard watching thing, whatever, where lifeguards sit and watch the sea anyway.
Uh-huh.
I once had it there on a beach, in Spain. Other times I've been in a random field. Actually, yeah, another time was we was driving on the motorway and we was going up north and we literally just were like, shall we fuck? And we're like, yeah. So we kind of just pulled over in like a service station and just fucked in the back of the car in the middle of the service station car park and then carried on driving up north.
See, now, out of that whole explanation, you said a bunch of different words that were it just cracked me up because you guys have different words for different things, like on the parkway and the service park in the, and where's the service park at? You were in the lot, or what is it called?
A car park.
The car park, yes.
You call it a car lot, right?
Yeah, we call it like a parking lot.
No, it's a car park. Guys, get it right.
Now, I noticed you guys have a lot of different words for different things. Like, I know you guys like pants like knickers.
Yeah.
You got knickers, and I remember one time I was shopping in the mall, a shopping mall, and I guess that's what you guys call them there.
Shopping center.
Yeah, the shopping center. I'm in the shopping center, and an English couple came up to me and asked me, "Can you tell us where the lift is?"
Yeah.
Yeah, you say yeah because you totally know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, you don't know that.
They say to me, and I'm like, the lift? What lift? Like, I'm thinking of like a crane, but they meant like an elevator. We call it elevator, you call it a lift, you know?
Yeah, lift. Yeah, lift. That's like totally normal here.
Yeah, and I'm coming out of the store, and like, I don't need my shopping cart anymore, and they're like, oh, do you mind if we have that buggy? And I'm like, the what? And I'm like, the shopping cart?
Trolley.
Yeah,
like a shopping trolley.
Yeah, they were like, a buggy. Where are the buggies? I'm like, the buggies? And I'm thinking like insects, you know, like buggies? You know, but it's just...
Yeah, we use like so many different words for you guys. It's weird, isn't it?
But the cool thing is that when you're shooting porn, fuck me, oh yeah, right there, all sounds the same.
Yeah, it does. Honestly, like, the sex language is completely the same.
It's universal throughout the world, even the universe. There's aliens somewhere that are saying "fuck me," you know, and it's
exactly.
See, it's like the universal language. So, so
we all understand each other, so it's perfectly fine.
yes. So, like I said, we had a lot of fans that were tweeting in questions, and these are some really, really cool questions, and the questions we always get. Like one is like, what do you consider your favorite position?
Oh my God! Do you know what? I would have to say definitely not a power driver. Oh my God, fuck that. It looks great in a movie, but I tell you what, you try and do a power driver in real life, it is the most awkward position ever. So definitely not that. I'd probably go for my favourite position. I love doggy style and missionary, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you enjoy about doggy, and what do you enjoy about missionary?
It goes deep.
Okay.
Real deep. You can push that dick all the way in.
Now, do you have like a social life? Do you date now that you're in the business? Like, and how does that work out? Like, how does the boyfriends or people that you're dating, do they know what you do?
Do you know what? Like, so obviously, like my boyfriend at the moment, or fiance, should I say? He obviously knew about porn before I got involved with him, and then that's kind of gone from there. So he knows about the porn. He loves the fact that I do porn because, I mean, you know, I'm pretty much good in bed, if I don't say so myself. So, you know, he's fine with it. But I think, like, you have to be honest about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just keep porn a secret. Well, I mean, it'd be impossible to keep porn a secret because you can just Google me and my vagina is, like, all over the internet. Do you know what I mean? So
I've been there and done that, believe me. Many times over.
In all sorts of positions, So you can't hide porn. You just got to be honest about it. But you either get the guy that can accept it and the guy that can't accept it. And I think that's the way it works. And I've always thought, like, well, if a guy really likes you, he'll stay with you regardless of what you do for a living.
Now, have you had a lot of guys that don't accept it?
Of course I have. So I've been through the lot of them. Honestly, I was like the renowned single gal for like 4 years, where it was constant just dating a guy, he'd either only date me because I was a porn star and then he'd fuck off, or he would purely try and get involved with me, then realise I do porn, and the jealousy, he couldn't handle it, and he'd end up disappearing. So I've been through the lot, do you know what I mean? So, been there, done that, and then I kind of was just like, do you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm just going to carry on doing my thing, shooting porn, and then kind of what happened happened. So it kind of worked out.
Now, what type of, what do we look for in a guy? What qualifications do you look for? So if a regular guy, because a lot of these guys are sending me tweets saying, you know, ask her how I could take her out on a date, and like, what attracts you?
Oh God, do you know what? Muscles. I love muscles. I love tattoos. Muscly, tattooed. Bit of a bad boy. Make me laugh. Be a bit mean to keep me keen. You know, that kind of thing. Oh, and be good in bed. If you're shit in bed, I'm not interested. As bad as that sounds, but I've got to be satisfied. And that's kind of the way it is. You know, if you've got a tiny dick, it's not really going to satisfy me.
So
you need a big cock and be good in bed, as well as muscles and tattoos and all of that. I tell you what, honestly, I'm not that picky at all, am I really?
I was gonna say, so all the guys out there, if you have a small penis, then it's just really don't waste your time. Yeah, move along because she's not interested.
Honestly, when you've done porn for that many years, honestly, you just get so used to big dicks.
So another guy, he goes on to ask, and he says, now you recently you were blonde, and now you're back to being a brunette. And what do you enjoy more being?
Do you know what? I love being a brunette, but I think blondes have more fun. And I'm actually going back to blonde at the end of the year because I'm sick of brunette now. Yeah.
So you're gonna go back to the blonde, and then like
back to the fun old blonde.
Do you feel like the blonde side brings out like more of a kinky side to you, or?
Oh, I don't know. I think whatever hair color I have, I think I'm kinky as fuck anyway. So you want BDSM, you want some bondage, hell yeah, I'm down for that. But yeah, I just love blonde. Like, I think I liked being blonde, and I got a lot of people messaging me like, oh, when are you going back to blonde? This, that, and the other. And I kind of thought, oh, do you know what? Like, I only originally went dark because basically I bleached my hair so much, it was pretty much fucked, and I had to go dark. I had no choice. But now I'm like, yeah, let's go back to blonde a little bit.
Now, guys are saying that obviously they want to know what you look for in a guy, but are you into girls? Do you consider yourself to be bisexual, or?
Oh, hell yeah, I'm bisexual.
He said, oh, hell yeah. What do you love about women?
Oh, do you know what? My type of woman is a fit woman. I love a fake-looking woman, so fake boobs, a bit fake-looking, fake lips. And I like a very fake-looking gal who's very pretty. And I mean, put it this way, when I was like 18, I ended up with a girl in a nightclub toilet. That's not even a lie. That is a true story. I swear. Right. Honestly, I ended up with a girl in a nightclub toilet. And obviously things happened, and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm actually really into women. Like, that's not even a joke. I actually am. Attractive women, though.
Attractive, fake-looking women.
Yeah. Porn stars.
Porn stars. Now, why the fakeness? Like, why you don't like the natural look, or are you just obsessed with big boobs and
I don't
big
know.
everything?
Maybe it's because they look a bit like me. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That sounds really bad. Not that I fancy myself or anything, but I don't know. I just like the fake looking gal. I like the fake boobs. I like the big hair extensions. I think I've always loved that porn star look. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I dress myself the way I do, because I love the porn star look. Like, that to me is the ultimate fantasy woman, a porn star look.
So basically, you would love to fuck yourself.
Well, I do fuck myself many times a day, with my vibrator.
Now, how often are you shooting scenes? Like, is this something you do daily, or is it once or twice a week?
No, it's like I shoot it like a few times a week, and then I take days off the rest of the time and mainly shop.
So, how often are you webcamming? Do you like throw that in the mix, or you have a certain schedule?
Yeah, kind of like I've just kind of started this webcamming thing, and it's going good, so I like it. And like I love talking to people on there and stuff, so I kind of just do it whenever I've got time, really. So whenever I kind of am sitting there in the evening and think, oh, do you know what? I might just log on to cam and get naked, you know, because I haven't been naked yet today. And then I'll log on and, you know, get webcamming. So it's random with me. I'm completely random, honestly.
Now, how often do you masturbate?
Every day.
Once a day, twice a day, or?
Yeah, well, if I like to have sex at least once a day. And if I don't get that, then I'm obviously pulling out my vibrator, you know. But I love it. You know, I'll put on a porno, not my own pornos because that would be weird. But, you know, I put on a porn film and then I'll get my vibrator out and, of course, I'll sit there and play with myself. I really enjoy that. It's just as much as a guy loves to wank.
Well, I love they say wank. That's awesome.
Do you guys say jerk off?
Yeah, we just say just jerk off, you know. But if it's wanking over there, I'm sure there's plenty of guys over there wanking to your material on a daily basis.
Apparently so. I looked at my views the other day on Pornhub or whatever it was, and I was like, oh my god! Like one of my scenes got like over 5 million views for one scene, and I was like, how did that even happen? Like really? I thought that was a really shit scene as well. So I don't know how that happened, but it did.
Well, there's guys like me that'll watch at least, like, you know, a couple thousand times, multiply that by whatever the population is in London, times the population of the United States, times the population of somewhere in South Asia somewhere, so you could get to 5 million pretty quickly.
Yeah, I suppose, but I didn't think about it that way. I kind of just thought, who's watching this 5 million times?
Now, you say if you're not getting sex, you masturbate, use your vibrator. What's your toy of choice?
Oh, the wand. The Doxy wand. Definitely. Do you know what? Anything else? I don't use anything else anymore. I just use that. Purely because it is the best. You know, I mean, it's meant to be a neck massager. I think that's why it's so good. Because you're not really meant to use it on your clit, but everyone does in porn. And I tell you what, it's the best invention I've ever found in my entire life. I highly recommend that.
Now, I wish I had known that prior, because I would have had your wand make a guest appearance on the podcast. We would have, you know, we should have planned this more accordingly, but that was my mistake, you know. The next time you're on, you'll have to bring the wand on for you, so everybody can kind of find out, you know, how it all works. It'd be like a little infomercial.
Definitely. Oh, quick play with the wand. Back to business. Back to the interview.
Yeah, exactly. This is how it works. This is what it does, you know? And then everybody can get an idea and a feeling, and then who knows? The creators and the people who make the wands, you could be getting like some kind of like sponsorship deal. You could be a spokesperson.
That'd be really cool, yeah.
So another fan goes on to ask, and I always love when people ask these questions. If you could be with any celebrity, who would it be and why? It could be a guy, it could be a girl. You could pick one guy, you could pick one girl.
Oh, the very sexy Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, what about Leonardo that you adore?
Well, I heard that he has a really big dick. I heard that through Hollywood Town. So I don't know if that's true. But I heard that, and do you know what? I just find him so goddamn sexy. I really do. I've always absolutely loved him. So yeah, definitely Leonardo. All the way.
So you're hoping that he'll like sink his Titanic into you and, you know, go from there, right?
Definitely. I mean, trust me, I've been there with a few celebs, honestly.
Okay. But we're not going to name names, right?
No, God, no.
Damn, I was kind of hoping you would, because we love putting people out there, you know.
Oh no, because I'm getting in trouble.
Now, when you say that though,
American, so please don't put that on me.
Now, when you say that though, like, when you hook up with celebrities, do they make you sign some kind of waiver to not?
No, of course not.
So it's just an agreement.
I mean, like, obviously the English celebrities, they don't care because they're not even that famous really, because they're just like English. But you know, like the American ones, no. I mean, like, obviously because I do porn for a living, I have a few followers of that, and you know, some American people, fighters, if I put it that way, if that makes any sense to you, without name dropping anyone. They love a bit of a porn star. They love the porn star experience.
Now, like as if it were me, I mean, I guess maybe I'm not Hollywood enough because I'm telling the whole entire world that I fucked Brooklyn Blue, if that's the case. You know, I don't know who's going to believe me, but, you know, it is what it is, you know, like I'm going to let everybody know. But what about, like, female-wise? Do you have, like, a certain female crush?
Oh, so, do you know what? I love Christina Aguilera. Absolutely love her. I've loved her since I was young, and I think she's stunning, you know. I really, really absolutely love her.
Now, something else that someone brought to my attention, and I don't know a lot about it, but if you even want to talk about it, but because in the States here, it could be considered taboo and even illegal, but, like, tell us about Blue Divine.
Blue Divine. So Blue Divine is a brand new escorting agency that me and my fellow porn star friend Alyssa Divine, we've set it up together.
Okay.
And it's basically an escort agency in London. And we're casting for it at the moment, so it's all going good. But yeah, it's an escort agency me and another porn girl have set up together.
Now, what are the rules over in London? Like, is this kosher? Is this legal? Like, what is...
Yeah, escorting's legal here. I mean, like, escorting to the point of, like, you pay for time and companionship only, and if anything else was to happen, that's between two consenting adults. So basically, if you book an escort, you're paying for time and companionship. That's how it works here, and that's legal here to pay for time and companionship of an escort. So that could be anything from escorting you to, I don't know, a business meeting or whatever. But yeah, that's basically what it is. We've set up our own escort agency.
But most of the time, it's two consensual adults doing whatever, right?
Well, it depends how horny the girl is.
I was going to say, because, like, technically, yeah, you could pay for companionship here and then use the, you know, the little clause that whatever happens between two consensual adults is our business, but you're paying for me to hang out with you and watch TV. When in reality, both parties know what they're really want to get out of it. So that part.
But I mean, I think a lot of the girls that do it are like single and they want to have fun, and it depends how much of a slut you are, really.
Now, you and Alyssa are running this company. Now, are you like clients of this, or are you just like, are you actually participating, or are you just kind of just taking more of like a company role?
We just kind of are starting the agency, and we own the agency, so we'll be the girls on the phones, as to say, and we'll be the girls that look after the other girls. Okay. So that's kind of how it works, basically. That's kind of how we're setting it up.
So the guys that are tweeting wanting to know about Blue Divine and want to know how they can book dates with you or Alyssa, that's not in the cards.
No. Just that we are starting an agency where you can see a very other sexy girls. And the fact that me and Alyssa have handpicked them ourselves, you know that they're pretty girls, they're not, you know, skanks.
Exactly. So you're not getting just some you know, girl in the middle of nowhere. So one of the things I wanted to note on is you just finished doing like a parody film of Star Trek, right?
Yeah, I did.
Now, tell us about that. You never watched it before?
No, because I find it really boring.
So why is the parody version with you in it more exciting? I mean, other than the fact that it's sex and boobs and...
Exactly. Sex, boobs, come on. Of course it's more exciting. And the fact that I'm in it, of course. But do you know what? It's really weird because when I was filming that Star Trek thing, I found it really weird because I had to play like a space girl. They said that I had to be really blunt. So when I spoke, I had to literally talk like a robot. And I've got a very Essex accent. So I had to totally tone it down and be like, oh, well, my planets need you, blah, blah, blah. You know, very boring. And I thought, sounds so fucking boring in this.
It sounds like you're fucking Siri on an iPhone.
It does sound like I'm Siri on an iPhone. It actually does. And is it true that you guys in America, your Siri is a woman?
It is. Your Siri's not a woman?
No, it's a man.
It's a man?
How much of a interesting fact is that?
Are you kidding me?
No, seriously, my Siri's a man.
Now, does he have an English accent, or?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
This is
but
all
I
new
wanted
news
to
to me.
change it to an American one.
No, this is all new news to me. Siri over
Yeah.
here, honestly, I don't have an iPhone, but I know people who have iPhones.
Yeah.
And Siri here in the States, she's a bit of a cunt. I mean,
No, Siri here in England, he's a man and he's a proper prick.
So, see, he's basically the same as Siri. Siri here is very temperamental. She can be kind of snippy.
Yeah, so can Siri here in the UK. He's like, literally, if you go the wrong way, he's like, turn right, turn right, turn right. I always thought that I'd like to do my own sat-nav thing because I'd try to make it sound so much more interesting. Because I would literally just be like, oh, turn right, baby. Turn
Yeah, but then
left.
then they're turning
Ooh,
into
this
shit
is
and running
weird.
things over, and that's just causing traffic jams and accidents, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I'd be a much better Siri. They should have had a porn star do Siri, not that silly computer voice they have doing it.
Exactly. Now, see, now you say that, and I purposely would be fucking up and doing all the wrong directions just so that I could just hear you just talk dirty to me, and I'd be like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going, but it's awesome because
But what
Brooklyn's
if it was a
talking to
Siri
me.
that turned into a proper, like, nagging little wife, and it would be like, all of a sudden, you know, when you start making the wrong turns, it goes, fucking turn right, you prick!
Yeah, you have to be. But you know what? Some people might actually like that.
They
Yeah.
probably would, actually. A lot of people would probably get off that. They'd be wanking in the back of their cars.
Exactly. Like, I'm sure people are going to be wanking listening to this podcast. So, you know.
I hope so.
I know I'm going to want to after it's all said and done. Like, this is amazing. So,
Let's make sure it's a good one.
oh, if I'm watching one of your videos, believe me, it's a good one. So, what is something that you still want to do in the business that you haven't done?
Ooh, I don't know. Do you know what? I mean, I always used to say I wanted my own series, but I got my own series now. So obviously I'm up for awards this year, so I want to win them. Obviously, I'm up for like 4 awards this year, which is really good. Like that's the awards in the UK. So I'm hoping to get them. And then, do you know what? Like, I'm just gonna carry on doing my thing. Like, I love porn, I love doing it. I'm setting up my own website, which is gonna be worldofbrooklyn.com, and that's gonna be a really good site because not only are we gonna have like professional porn on it, but I thought, do you know what? I want to give people a little bit something a little bit more personal, so they're gonna get all like behind the scenes footage, you know, private scenes of my personal life where I've like, you know, done private stuff in my personal life on camera. You know, all of that. So I'm working on that at the moment, which is like super exciting.
Now, when you're doing porn, what do you think is your best trait? Like, are you really good at giving head? Like, what do people say you're the best at? I need to get this far without being good at giving head, right?
And I don't think so. I mean, I think you've got to kind of be good at sex and, you know, good at giving a blowjob. Apparently, according to the UK industry, I'm the best porn girl in the industry that gives the best blowjob, according to the porn guys. That's what everyone voted me as anyway.
Now, how did you learn to give such amazing blowjobs?
Probably just from being a slut when I was younger.
I mean, you did start at 15, and then...
Exactly, I've had a lot of experience. We're talking 10 years now.
Now, like, how many, when you were 15 and you're, you know, in high school, and, like, how many boyfriends did you have? Did you have boyfriends, or were you just kind of like...
No, I was just a serial dater when I was like 15, 16, 17, 18. I was a serial dater. I was, honestly, as bad as it sounds, I was a total slut at that age. I really was. I was terrible. I was a proper little slag. And I just love to fuck. I love to have sex. I love to fuck. I love to give blowjobs, and that's pretty much what happened from like 15 to about 18. I just went on a crazy rampage of just sex, and more sex.
Now, how many guys can you guesstimate you've been with in that time?
So before porn, I used to keep a little list actually. As sad as that sounds, and I got up to the number of this sounds terrible. Oh my god, So before, obviously, I did porn. So I got up to about, I think it was about 73.
So 73 guys in 3
Yeah,
years.
before porn.
Now, is this straight fucking, or is this fucking and blowjobs, combination of both?
No, that was straight fucking, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you're not going to give a blowjob and then not carry on with the rest of the situation.
Well, I wish more girls were like that here.
That was me from like 15 to 18. How terrible was that? It's awful.
So in 3 years, you like almost fucked more
Yeah,
people
but I
than
worked
people
abroad.
listening.
I worked abroad. Let's make it a little bit better. I worked abroad. So, you know, like them crazy party islands, like that we have in Europe, so like Ibiza and stuff like that. Basically, I worked at one of them as a worker, and so basically, when I was there, I mean, working abroad like that, I mean, you sleep with someone every single night when you work abroad like that. And I was literally 17 when I went there and did that.
Now,
So, it was terrible.
so you got into porn, and did you stop keeping a number count at that point, or?
Yeah, once you get into porn, you just lose track. I kind of just thought, oh, you know. And then it actually turned out that when I got into porn, I only had sex in porn, which was weird. So then that's kind of how it went down for a little while.
Now, at what age was it that you got into porn again? What was it?
I was 21.
So you're 21, you got into porn. Who's the oldest guy that you've ever been with?
Bend over. He's like, I think he's like near enough 60 now.
And this was when you were 21, or?
Yeah, I was 21.
Now, what was that like? Was that kind of weird? Did you feel like, you know?
It was like my third ever scene I'd ever done, to be fair. And he's like a legend in the porn game, so it was kind of, it was fine, you know. It was a weird experience, but you know, you could tell that he'd been in porn for years by the way he was going about. So yeah, it was fine. It was good.
So he knew what he was doing, and you didn't mind. You just let him kind of take control.
Yeah, for like an old man, he had a decent cock. You know, I wasn't expecting that, to be fair.
Now, what is something you would not do in porn?
I've never done anal.
Okay. Now,
I know the major thing out there in America.
Now, is it never will or just never have?
Never have yet.
Okay. So you're open to the idea if the situation was right.
Yeah, if the situation was right and the money was right, then yeah.
Okay. Now, do you do it in your personal life or no?
I have, yeah, of course.
Okay. And did you enjoy it, or you just?
Yeah. Like, I've done it in my personal life a couple of times, and like, yeah, I love it. You know, but it's just in porn. I kind of thought, you know what? I've given so much out. So, like, you can see everything all over the internet. But I thought I have to keep something personal right now. So, that's kind of why I did it. But, yeah, I'm definitely not saying that I would never not do anal in porn. I definitely would, if the situation was the right situation.
Now, another guy asked, he goes, how many guys have you been with at one time?
So I did a 10 people gangbang once.
And how was that?
That was awesome.
Now, did you when people see these gangbangs, do you like take breaks in between, or is it just like one guy goes and then the next guy goes, and like how do you keep up?
It works like so. You kind of switch in between. So obviously you can't have like 10 people at once because it was like there was 10 of us and it was 5 girls, 5 guys, and it's kind of switching in between. There'd be 3 of us together at one point, two people together at one point, and you switch it up, and it's fun. It was really fun. I loved that.
Now, what is your ultimate fantasy? Have you fulfilled your ultimate fantasy yet?
Yeah.
Okay, what was that?
When I was a total sub. I'm a bit of I love that kind of thing. So I love the whole bondage. I love bondage, BDSM. I'm really into that kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of that. I've done that, and I love that. That's a big thing for me.
So you enjoy being a sub most of the time, or?
Or it depends on mood I'm in. If I'm in a bad mood that day, I want to like dominate the fuck out of you.
Take your aggression out on the guy.
Yeah, of course. I've done that many times. I mean, like, you know, and so it depends what mood I'm in with you. If I'm in a good mood that day, then I want a man to be an alpha male and dominate me. And if I'm in a bad mood that day, then I want to dominate the fuck out of you and, you know, slap you while I fuck you.
Now with women, are you completely dom or sub, or you kind of like switch it with women too?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like with new girls, so like when a new girl comes into the industry, if we're doing a scene, I always notice that I end up kind of taking over as a bit of a dom. But I think that's just because I need guidance. I don't actually do it like, you know, directly. It's kind of just a bit like, babe, you need to get down on his cock a little bit more. So fucking, you know, suck his dick and I push her head down, you know.
You're not doing it right.
No,
Let me show
you. Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of situation. It's like, you're not sucking his cock, right, babe? He's going to get soft. Fucking suck it. Bitch.
Now, what do you want your legacy to be when you do decide that, you know, I'm not going to do this anymore, like I've done everything I wanted to do, and, you know, I want to settle down, have a family? Is that something in the future that you even want to do?
Yeah, I mean, like, do you know what? I've always kind of had the legacy, like, wanted the legacy of kind of, like, to be because I know, like, in America, it's so easy to make, like, a massive name for yourself, and there's, you know, because it's such a more massive industry there, but, like, here in England, it's so small, and I was kind of, like, I've always kind of wanted to be the biggest UK porn star that made it, the one UK porn star that made it, do you know what I mean? So, but also the fun one, because so many girls out here, like in porn, they're, oh my God, like I don't know if it's the same in America, but here in England, half the porn girls are just, they're fucking bitches. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh, well, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Well, I'm actually fun. So I kind of always wanted that to kind of be the legacy of like the biggest UK porn star, but the fun one. You know, not a boring bitch.
Yeah, you got to have a bit of a personality, and you got and that comes through even during this podcast. I can tell. I mean, so many fans were tweeting in questions, and we apologize if we didn't get through everybody's questions. But I mean, there's people like you just. It helps when you have a personality. It helps when you're like down to earth and not, you know, stuck up and being a cunt all the time. And
oh my God, I hate stuck up people. Like, this is the thing. I had that so many times. I've had fans like approach me in the street and stuff, and you know, I've been nice to them obviously because I'm a nice person, and they've gone, oh, do you know what? I thought you wouldn't be like that. I thought you'd be like a bit of a bitch, and I'm like, really? I'm like, why? I'm like really nice.
What made you think I was a bitch? You know, just because I do porn?
Do I look like a bitch? Don't get on the wrong side of me though, because I can flip from 0.2 seconds.
So I know people are really big on social media, and I'm going to give you this chance now to kind of let everybody know where they can stalk you at online, because there's guys out there that are doing it already.
Cool. So you can follow me on Twitter. It's @X Brooklyn Blue X, and also for either @Blue Divine, which is my agency, or for you know, I've got a webcam group as well, which is @Brooklyn's Playmates, because they're all really fun playmates. And yeah, look out for my website, guys, because it's launching soon, and it's going to be worldofbrooklyn.com, because basically it's Brooklyn's world.
Now, where did you...
Everything crazy in my head is going to be on that site.
Where did you come up with the name Brooklyn?
Do you know what? It's so weird. I wanted to actually be Brooke originally, and there was loads of Brookes in England, and there was no Brooklyns in England. I was the first Brooklyn in England. So my friend kind of said to me, oh, why don't you be Brooklyn? Because there's no Brooklyns in England, and Brookes, there was already about 3 or 4 Brookes. So I went, all right, then let's go with Brooklyn. And originally I was just Brooklyn, and then I did a scene for a company called Bluebird, and they randomly one day just added on the blue, and that's how I become Brooklyn Blue.
So there you have it. So the people that were tweeting
there you have it.
Who were asking how she came up with that.
Exactly, I don't even like the colour blue, so I definitely wouldn't pick that myself.
But it makes sense, like, you know, it's all with the B thing, Brooklyn Blue. I mean, being Brooklyn Red is kind of like, you know, sounds kind of weird. What is the favorite color?
Exactly. Pink, of course. I'm a girly girl. Pink.
So Brooklyn Pink.
It wouldn't work. But then who has the surname Blue? It's just a weird name.
Well, I mean, I noticed there's a lot of, you know, different names over there that are just not common over here in the States. Now, another fan, we wanted to know, what are your thoughts on the royal family?
Oh, God. Do you know what? I don't even know. I don't even care about that kind of thing. Like, I know you guys, like, love it over there, though, because it's, like, such a major thing. But to us over here, it's so boring. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the real family, I love Kate and Will. I love them. I think they're great. But do you know what? I always wanted to be a princess, so I'm a little bit jealous. But I don't think they'll accept porn stars into the royal family. I don't think that's allowed.
Yeah, but if he loves you and he wants to marry you, I mean...
Yeah, you know.
Nothing you can do about that, you know?
But yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, like, it's kind of, they're not really that... Obviously, they're a major thing here, but people don't really notice it as much, probably because we're so used to it here. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. It's like Big Ben and stuff. Like, I live in London, and I tell you what, like, I don't even go and visit them places because I just find it boring. But, like, everyone else loves it.
That's because you see it all the time. It's like we're in, like, the Philadelphia area, and everybody that comes to the Philadelphia area, they're like, ooh, I got to have a Philly cheesesteak. You know, it's like the Philly food to have, and over here it's like,
honestly,
we have them all the time.
Yeah, like when I've been to America, I've had to do the proper touristy things. Like I went on the when I was in LA once, I went on this celebrity house tour, which was a bit weird because we ended up driving past someone's house that I slept with, which was a little bit awkward. So I was kind of like, oh, this was fun until
I
this
know
point.
this place.
Yeah, it was like this was fun until we got to this point. I want to leave now.
I've been here before, you know.
Recognize this one.
Now, how you say American celebrities that you've been with? Like, how many have you been with?
American or British and American?
I would say American. I mean, because or the Britain ones. I'm assuming people here probably don't even know who they are.
Oh, it depends. I mean, a couple of them are like big in America now, but there's one proper American guy who's a big American guy. The other is a British guy, but he become massive in America because he married an American star. So yeah.
So you got us here trying to figure out who this could be.
So you know.
I mean, you sit there and you say like Brit stars, and it's just like we start thinking, we're like, okay, Spice Girls, you know, that comes to my head.
No.
David Beckham.
Oh, I wish. David Beckham.
I mean, it's just like I'm trying to think what Brit stars are real big. You know what I mean?
He married a pop star. So
He married.
They're divorced now.
He married a pop star. If anybody,
it's fine because it actually come out in the paper here anyway. So yeah, it wouldn't be bad if you said it anyway because it was a big story over here in England.
Oh, well, wait. Were you having an affair with him at the time, or?
No. So it was just like a kiss and tell thing. But then he got married afterwards, and then was still messaging me once he was married, and then it was kind of like a whole situation, you know. And yeah, drama, but that was like a couple of years ago now.
Well, if anybody that's listening to the podcast and you can guess randomly who it is, I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm thinking pop star, Brit, and like
comedian actor.
A comedian actor.
Harry.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, you know, I mean, but this was all public knowledge out where you are, so
yeah.
A little Google search could help people.
Yeah, exactly.
Do people recognize you? Like you say, people recognize you on the street and they say to you, like, oh, I thought you were going to be like a bitch or whatever. But like, do people like come up to you and then like, are they like afraid to say something to you at first?
So it kind of goes two ways. So either if you're out in like clubs, for example, you'll get the looks. So they'll look over and then it's not until later on in the evening when they're drunk that they all of a sudden pick up the courage and then they'll come over and they'll be like, oh, you're that Brooklyn girl. And then they'll take a photo. So they'll either do that or if just during the day, sometimes people do just come over and they're like, can I have a photo with you? And I'm like really nice. I'm like, yeah, of course, babe. It's fine. And then I normally hate the photo anyway and be like, oh my God, can you please delete that? That's the worst photo of me ever. And then other times you'll get like a bit of a dickhead. So you could be in a club and they'll recognize you and they'll just trying to grab you or pull you because they know who you are. And it's kind of like, fuck off, babe. I swear, I'm not very happy about this. So, yeah, but generally people are nice. You know, they'll come up and they'll say hello. The funniest one was one time when a guy came up to me and he goes, oh, you're that Brooklyn girl, right? And I was like, yeah, that's me. He goes, oh, can I have a quick photo of you while my girlfriend's in the toilet? That was the funniest one. And then when she come out, his mates told her, and she found it funny, thank God. Otherwise, that would have been a drama.
Yeah. So, how often do you come to the States?
I've been there a few times. I love Vegas. So I've been to Vegas on holiday loads. But I've been to like LA, I've been to Vegas. I've been there a few times and I love it there. I really do. Like, your weather is so much better than here.
Now, what is the weather like there? Is it always like rainy, gloomy, or?
Yeah, it's shit.
It's shit weather?
Like, honestly, it's August right now, and I bet you guys are like having bright sunshine every day. All day today we've just had rain and cloud. It's like autumn, and it's August. That's our summer. It's so rubbish.
Well, the summers here are like hit or miss. It's either going to be a nice sunny day and it's warm, or it's like warm, but like there's always a chance of like a thunderstorm because of the humidity.
Yeah.
And they always just kind of creep into like the uninvited guest at a party. They just kind of show up whenever they want. You know,
I was in Cancun, honestly. I was like in Cancun like a couple of weeks ago, and I swear I was like cursed with bad weather. It thundered every single day. It was a joke. I was like, I've come back. Well, I had to put a fake tan on before I come home just to pretend that I caught a tan there.
Now, when do you plan on coming back to the States? Because a lot of the fans that are listening, there are from the States here, so they all want to know where can they meet you? Like, where can they expect to see you?
I don't know. I'm totally random. I mean, to be fair, even in Mexico, when I was in Cancun, in Mexico partying a few weeks ago, there was actually an American guy over there, and he recognized me, and I took a photo with him, and that was in Cancun. So, but it completely shocked me because he was American. He kind of come over and he goes, "Oh, you know," was so excited, and he was going, "You're definitely her, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's me," and all this. I took a photo of him, and I thought, but you're American. How do you know who I am? Like, you guys have like the best porn stars in the world there, and you know me, little old me from London. Really? It's mad. To me, it's completely crazy, honestly. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm always in like disappearing on holiday and places. So whenever I am in America and that, I always tweet about it anyway. So follow my Twitter and you'll know. I put everything on there.
Now, what do you want the fans to know most importantly before we wrap up the podcast?
Oh, that I love them. Oh, I appreciate them so much because without them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So I have so much respect and so much appreciation for them. And I want to tell them all, keep wanking over my porn, please. Because I appreciate you doing that. The day you stop wanking is the day I lose a career.
There you have it. So the one and only Ms. Brooklyn Blue, we appreciate you talking to us, and we can't wait to see and hear and just enjoy more of your work.
My crazy life, honestly. And check out worldofbrooklyn.com because it's going live soon, and I appreciate you guys will love it. Well, I hope you do anyway.
I'm sure they will. I know I will. Well, we appreciate it again, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Not a problem.
And I send all my love to all you guys in America. Hiya, I'm Brooklyn Blue, and you're listening to Mix Master B on MMB Radio.